Hey everyone! So, what if thinking about Jesus wasn't, super complicated? What if it was actually as simple as having a best friend who is always, and I mean always, right there by your side? That's the really cool idea we're going to dive into today.
It all kicks off with this amazing promise. I am continually with thee. Think about that word continually. That doesn't mean sometimes or only when you're being perfect. It means always. This one idea is the key to everything else we're going to talk about.
I mean, seriously, think about it. We all have awesome friends, right? But sometimes they move away, or you get into a little argument, or maybe they're just busy. But just imagine, having a best friend who is guaranteed to never, ever leave your side. That's the feeling we're going to explore.
So, here's our first big idea, and it's a simple one. Let's start thinking of Jesus as your very best friend. Not some faraway person in the sky or a confusing idea, but someone who is right here, closer to you than anyone else.
Sometimes people can make Jesus sound kind of vague or complicated, and it all gets a bit confusing. But we can just cut right through all of that noise. The main point is so simple. He's not a puzzle you have to solve. He's a friend you get to hang out with. Okay, so if Jesus is our best friend, how does that actually change things in our day-to-day life? Well, what do you do with any friend? You talk to them, right? The source material also calls Jesus our counselor, which is really just a fancy way of saying he's a helper who gives the absolute best advice.
Picture this. Your best friend is sitting on the couch right next to you while you're playing a video game. Would you just completely ignore them, pretend they're not even there? Of course not. That would be so weird and kind of rude, honestly. And yet, a lot of the time, that's what we do with Jesus. He's right there, and we forget to even say hi.
So let's make this super practical. The source talks about casting your care upon him. Here's what that actually looks like. Okay, step 1, you're about to take a big test, or maybe you're getting ready for a big game. Step 2, just take 1 second to remember, oh yeah, my best friend Jesus is right here with me. And then, step 3, talk to him about it. Just in your head, say something like, hey, I'm kind of nervous about this, or please help me do my best. That's it. That's the whole habit.
But let's be real for a minute. Sometimes it doesn't feel like he's right there, does it? So what happens when Jesus feels like he's a million miles away? When you pray and it feels like you're just talking to the ceiling?
Well, we can think about it this way. It's kind of like when you get a brand new Lego set or an awesome new video game. You might get so into it that you totally forget about your friend for a day or two. It doesn't mean you don't like your friend anymore. You just got distracted.
And this is where a really big misunderstanding can happen. When Jesus feels far away, our first thought is almost always, he left me. But that is not what's happening, ever. The truth is, Jesus never moves. He's always in the same spot. We're the ones who get distracted and wander off. He's always right where we left him, just waiting for us to turn back around.
All right, so now that we know he never, ever leaves us, how do we get better at not wandering away? How do we keep that friendship feeling strong and close?
So what's our game plan? Here's a super simple friendship checklist. Talk to him just like you would with any friend. Think about him for a second here and there throughout your day. Tell him when you're worried about something. Remember that he loves you. And the most important one, just know deep down that he is always, always by your side.
It really all boils down to these 4 simple words. Keep close to his side. That's the whole goal. Not because you have to or because it's a rule, but because that's where the best friend you could ever possibly imagine is waiting for you. So, as we wrap this up, here's one last little thought for you to take with you. When you find out you have an absolutely amazing best friend, what's one of the first things you want to do? You want to tell somebody about them, right? So who is one person you could tell this week about this idea that Jesus wants to be their best friend too?